Hotep, Black Power, your brother Shaka saying Kofa here, Street Law Soldiers, and just want to discuss some things, a few things early today. Gave out some clothes and shoes. I told you we do that. We give out clothes and shoes and food and shelter referrals to the community, to our struggling brothers and sisters, that's out there in the war zone and the drug-ridden areas and the downtrodden brothers and sisters and children. And, as always, it always gives you a blast of gratitude to be so appreciative, to be in a position to be able to help, to be able to put some work in to help our brothers and sisters that are struggling, because these things are by design, by the elite albinoid demons that are in power, that are ruling this country, that are our oppressors, who ensure that we stay in the downtrodden mode, until we meet our demise, or till we make our ascensions, I battle this cracker from head to toe each day, and although a lot of our brothers and sisters are still out there struggling, not just with substance abuse, with homelessness, being victims of sexual violence, rape, starvation, poverty, unemployment, domestic violence, black on black crime. Well, I don't call it black on black crime. I call it self-hatred reactions, because that's just a reaction of self-hatred when you want to hurt somebody that looks like you. You know what I'm saying? That shows how you feel about yourself, and, we have to link arm in arm, because this is not a game. This is not a game. It's time for us to step up to the plate and do what we need to do to assist our brothers and sisters out here, and, it's time for us to be warriors. It's time for us to step up and be revolutionaries that we claim to be, and I always say this, walk like a god, talk like a god, step into, the level of your God essence and take a fearless approach, and go inside of you, and dig out, the things that are, the things that hinder you, and it's not an easy task, it's not an easy task, but, I cannot do it alone, but we can do it together, and people, we still, on this Trump shit, you know what I'm saying? People are still, talking about this election thing, all that's over with, and what Donald Trump is going to do and what he has planned, if he puts us in a position where we have to link up, so be it, no longer, no longer will we be able to be selfish, and be able to be comfortable with watching our brothers and sisters starve while we eat, and take joy and pride in watching your own brothers and sisters do without while you do. Not only just do while you waste, cause some of you niggas, you waste more than some people will ever have. You've thrown away more wealth than some will ever acquire. And I take an unselfish approach at everything, because I want to see the day where black liberation and black salvation, exists within the greatest people on earth. We are the greatest people on earth. We are the original people. We are the first people. We are the chosen people. But we have to understand that, because the masses of our people don't know who we really are. We've been deprived of our knowledge, of our history, of our being, of our spirituality, of our total essence of who we really are. You know, it's time for us to take that back. It's time for us to step into our greatness, you know, and be the gods and goddesses that we were ordained to be by the Almighty, by the Creator, by the all in all, by God, or whatever you want to call them, the Creator, Creatist. Because you know, you was before, when everyone was in their mother's womb, they were females before they were males. You know, and that's why it's a Creator, Creatist. You know, even in your scriptures, it says that, you know, God said, let us make man and woman in our image. That's just a tidbit, you know. But back to the subject at hand. You know, it's time for us to stand up and be counted. You know, and be warriors. You know, and you know, we can do it. It's our turn. It's our time. This is our time. This is time for the greatest man on the planet to reclaim his throne. You know, to be the all in all that you were sent here to be. You know, let's link arms. Let's help our brothers and sisters out here that's struggling. You know, nobody woke up. Nobody asked to be in these positions that our people in. You know, and you never know. You might have to come back and repeat this. And by you being so selfish and turning your head to the suffering of our people, you might be one of those that'll be suffering the next time around. You don't know. You know, and if I were you, I wouldn't roll the dice with the Creator. I just wouldn't do that. You know, so it's time for a change. It's time for us to also stop being selfish. You know, stop just thinking about ourselves. You know, think about your brother, man. Think about your sister, woman. You know, want for your brothers and your sisters what you want for you. You know, because like I'm proud and I'm thankful to be who I am. And if it wasn't for the people that came before me, that gave their lives for my existence, that sacrificed their lives for my existence, you know, my great-greats and great-great-greats and great-greats and even my parents and grandparents, you know, that laid their lives out and gave their lives for my existence. So I have no choice but to represent, you know, and to lay my life down and to give my life and commit my life to struggle and to the liberation and salvation of my people so that my seeds, you know, will be able to survive. You know, brothers and sisters, you know, we are hurting people, man. You know, it's time for some changes. You know, and if we don't make these changes, it's gonna be all over. You know, it's gonna be all over. You know, I represent who I represent. You know, the struggling black man, the brother that's been in the penitentiary, the brother that's been in the streets, the brother that's been thugging. But also the brother that's a scholar, the brother that's studied, the brother that's read hundreds and hundreds of books, the brother that has traveled all over the country, lecturing, sharing his experiences, sharing his stories, you know, unselfishly and truthfully, you know, with no shame, you know, and never trying to dress nothing up. You know, nothing comes easy for none of us. It hasn't been easy for none of us, you know. But I'd be damned if I'm throwing in the towel. I'm standing up and being counted. You know, I want to go down in history as one of the freedom fighters. One of the brothers who stood up and fought this devil for the liberation of our people. You know, I like to take a second and give a moment of silence for those who did lay their lives out and those who have made their ascensions that I personally knew, and those that I don't know that made their ascensions and gave their life for me, you know. Yeah, you know. And see, this is the thing, you know. Let's stand up. Let's not be afraid to, you know, shed tears and walk in your greatness, walk in your glory. You know, don't be defeated by this enemy, by this cracker, by this devil, by this albinoid beast who hates the fact that he and she is not melanated and want to take your melanin from you and destroy you. Stand up. You know, don't be a bitch when it comes to dealing with this motherfucking cracker. You know, go all the way in. You do it for everybody else. You go out your way to take your brother out. You go out your way to smack your queen. You go out your way to steal and rob and kill people that look like you. So what's the problem when it comes to this motherfucking cracker? Where's your heart at? Why all of a sudden you become a motherfucking bitch when it comes to stepping to this motherfucking devil? You got 1,000 motherfucking excuses. And then for you bootlicking motherfuckers, you know, you got the wrath is coming for you too. For those of you, you know, who side with the enemy behind closed doors. That's part of the oppression and part of the destruction of black people. Your ass has something coming too. Nobody gets away with it. You may get by, but you won't get away. Nobody gets spared in the wrath of the Creator and the chosen people. So I tell y'all, we've lost so many children, man. So many little babies have been slaughtered and murdered, shot down like animals by this goddamn albinoid devil. Brothers and sisters, look at Sandra Bland. You know, Tamir Rice, Ayanna Young, Eleanor Bumpers. You know, even don't matter male or female or how old you are. Eleanor Bumpers was nearly 100 years old and was shot down in her house like a fucking animal by this motherfucking cracker. He has no regard for black life whatsoever. So why should you have regard for white life? And you rappers, man, stop rapping, stop being a bitch. Stop being afraid to rap about some truth. Help these brothers and sisters get out of the mental bondage that they're in from your fucking music. You know, it doesn't make any sense. You know, I don't understand y'all. You know, I don't understand you motherfuckers. You know, you coward ass niggas. You know how you degrade these queens, but you marry these white bitches. You know, you make these move with these little young queens with practically nothing on but thongs and making them gyrate themselves, making them, you know, making their value, making them feel like shit. The white man look at them as nothing but trash because of your participation. How you gang rape these queens, have them in these motherfucking strip clubs. You know, think about if it was your mother, you know, doing that shit, or your sister doing that. Would you be comfortable with that? So why are you comfortable with somebody else's mother and sister? Unless you are a fuck. That's what a coward, that's how a coward, and that's how a bitch nigga thinks. That's how a bitch nigga thinks. Cause he's a bitch. Stand up, y'all. Come on, man. It just, you know, it's about time, man. You actors and actresses and you people that's in the corporate structure, you know, that have access to the media, Stop being afraid to say what you really want to say. Stop biting your tongue. Stop being a bitch. Because you bite your tongue at the workplace all day, then you come home and take it out on your family. That is a coward ass nigga. Stand up to this motherfucker. Liberation means sacrifice. You're not gonna be able to be liberated, and live royally. It doesn't work like that. If you look at the annals of history, all our great leaders and gods and goddesses that fought for the liberation and salvation of our people didn't do it in royalty. So I don't want to hear that bullshit about money. We all want nice things. But if we all can't have nice things, why should some of us have nice things and the rest of us suffer? Look at Floyd Mayweather, fucking illiterate fucking cowards, man, hobos and bums mentally. Yeah, you got a lot of money, but you don't know nothing about Kemet. You don't know nothing about Africa. You can't name 10 revolutionaries. And see, that's the difference. That's why knowledge is power. It takes power to come, and do a video clip and tell the truth about what's going on. And it's the same for you motherfuckers that, for the sake of getting hits on your YouTube page, you'll sit there and degrade your own fucking people, man. People like that should be executed on YouTube to show that this shit shouldn't be tolerated. There's no way George Zimmerman should be living. There's no way Tracy Martin, Trayvon Martin's father, should be living for sacrificing his son like that in the Masonic ritual. And George Zimmerman walks around that area, none of you motherfuckers don't say nothing to him. That cracker that killed Sandra Bland, he still rides around. None of you niggas say nothing to him. Them crackers that killed Eric Gardner, up in New York, you niggas don't say nothing to him. Because you know why? This so-called black consciousness shit has become a motherfucking media circus, man. Where everybody just trying to cash in off the blood of the motherfucking poor. I'm gonna put it out there and tell it like it is. I tried to link up with motherfuckers, but I seen the motives were different. It's a lot of y'all brothers and sisters out there that you're trying your best and you're hated on for trying. But it's okay. It's gonna be alright. You ain't gotta worry about that. You don't have to worry about that. Cause this shit slowly but surely, this shit is coming to a motherfucking halt, a screeching halt. It's no way certain people that were involved in Dr. Collins's assassination should be walking around. It's no way the doctors that assassinated Steve Coakley and Dr. Wilson should be walking around, or Dr. Sabi. No one has confronted them. No one says nothing to these motherfucking people. But you'll go out your way to say something to somebody that looks like you. But then you want respect as a man or woman. You ain't keeping shit, gangster. Nothing. Nobody has time for that shit. Just going back and forth with each other. To see who knows the most, and who hung with who, and who learned from who, and whose book is greatest, and who's not the greatest, who's the king of this, who's the prince of this, who's the queen of this. And you ain't running a motherfucking thing. Nothing but your goddamn mouth. It's a time where this shit has to end. Somebody has to stand up and speak on it and stand on what you speak on. I've made some mistakes. I've said things that I shouldn't have said. Of course, I'm man enough to admit that. I played both sides of the fence. I know, I know how that shit go, but those were just learning experiences for me. I've learned from that. I've grown from that because I admitted it and I stood up, and told the world. But that doesn't mean, certain people are not going to be seen in the end by me. Nothing has changed. This morning was the full moon. There was a lot of things going on. We need to pay attention to, we need to pay attention to those things because this is the year that I think in August it's supposed to be an eclipse. Specifically, around the time Nat Turner made his insurrection. It's supposed to be an eclipse schedule. So it's nothing out of order. There's no make-believe, there's no mystery, nothing is a mystery. It's about realism. That's the religion that I practice today, realism. I want to give a shout out to my brother, as always, Brother Harris Abdul. I miss that brother, and I walk in his footsteps. I'm rolling for you, brother. I'm riding for you. And I'm slaying anything that's in the way of me making my contribution to the liberation and salvation of the black nation. It's just that simple. I don't have time for a lot of nonsense and silliness and immatureness. Stand up, black man. Stand all the way up. Stand straight up and be a fucking god. Be a fucking warrior, man. Let's not be fake. Don't be ashamed of who you are. Don't be ashamed to talk about our rich legacy and history, because nobody else has a history but us. When everybody else talks about a history or their so-called history, that's our history. They don't have a story. Nobody else has a story. We are the originators of everything. We are the original everything. Nothing was before us, and nothing will be after us. Start having some love for people that look like you. Stop walking around, eager to hurt something that resembles you, because that shows how much you care about yourself. I always try to speak to all my brothers and sisters. You know what I'm saying? And it has nothing to do with being weak or whatever. Because I'm not scared of shit. I just love myself today. I am so honored to have been chosen by the ancestors to be a participant leading the charge, on the liberation and salvation of the black nation. I'm honored to be chosen, that they seen me fit for the motherfucking mission. They seen that I have what it takes to take a stand, to lead my own organization, my own movement, the Street Lost Soldiers. And I'm humbly grateful to the ancestors for that. Humbly grateful. None of us can't do it without y'all, whether you understand it or not. Be a soldier. Be a soldier. I talk to people every day. I still work with the children. I work with the gangs. Try to make gang truces and all those things. Because it's time for us to, take a fearless approach and to bringing these children together. It's not that they hard. They just don't know. They've just been hurting. They've been abused. Grew up with crack addicted mothers, no father. fending for themselves. You know, a lot of us were fortunate enough that we didn't have to have that experience growing up. But unfortunately, a lot of our babies did. They did. You know? And these brothers, the youth they are the strongest motherfuckers on the planet. The black youth. They are warriors. They are soldiers. And that's our military. But they have to be trained. They have to be reprogrammed. And we have to show them some love. You know, we got to embrace them. Let them know that it's going to be all right. You don't have to die at 14. You don't have to die at 15. Being murdered is not cool. Being in a casket at 16 is not what's up, bruh. Nah, my nigga, you got to... No, it don't work like that. That's not how it go, man. And who's ever telling you that shit, man? You know, these motherfucking rappers, you know, who are nothing but ex-correctional officers, you know, ex-addicts and and active addicts today just talking that bullshit that don't live in the hood, that's keeping you in the hood. Don't listen to that bullshit. And you can see that how this motherfucking white so-called imposter Jew is paying the radio stations to pump this motherfucking filth and paying these young niggas money to keep that filth going. But which one of you motherfuckers gonna have the heart to make a record about staying in school? You know. That's what I wanna know. Which one of you motherfuckers gonna make a record about not getting high, staying clean, doing your homework, not being a 12-year-old father, you know, not to stop the killing, stop the violence, all this school bullying and all this bullshit. Those are just children that are hurting, that are not getting the proper guidance and parenting that they're supposed to be receiving. Because a lot of you parents think, you know, your child being a thug is what's happening. That's not that shit is ill. And then some of you older people, man, you know, y'all still want to be young. You know, those days are over with. You had your time to be 20. You 50, 60 years old. And you still, some of you brothers still acting like babies, man. You know, and you know, it's sad. You know, I thank God, I thank the ancestors and the Creator for my experiences. You know, I learned a lot in the penitentiary. I learned a lot in the streets. You know, and it wasn't easy for me to get to this point. You know, I was shitted on, talked about, you know, labeled to be nothing. You know, people turned their backs on me. Nobody wanted to be bothered with me. You know, but the Creator seen it fit. He allowed me to go through that to get to this point. Now, those same people, you know, a lot of them are not even here today. And the ones that are here today, you know, they feel like shit. A lot of them can't even look me in the eye because of the shit that they said and done to me. You know, but it's all good. You know, because like I've always said, I've always been a motherfucking soldier. No ifs, ands, or buts about that. You know, I was blessed for the ancestors to be able to protect me in my journeys, you know, that I wasn't unfortunate as a lot of other brothers, you know, that lost their lives in jail, lost their manhood, you know, that wasn't happening anyway, because that's not in my DNA, you know. But a lot of brothers, I've seen a lot of brothers fall to the wayside. A lot of them didn't make it, you know. A lot of brothers were murdered, you know, came home and was murdered, overdosed on drugs, you know, shot by the police, shot by spouses, shot by family members, and And it's not, you know, and I think about those things all the time. You know, a lot of those brothers I miss, you know, but the Creator seen it fit for me to stand up, because I've always been a stand-up brother. I've never been a motherfucking follower. Always been a leader. You know, and I've always stood, you know, and I've stood in front of gunfire and guns, you know, but I've always been a truthful motherfucker. You know, I don't claim to be the baddest motherfucker on the planet, but I know I am one of the most realest motherfuckers out here. I know that for sure. You know, I've never been whooped in jail and all that type of bullshit. You know what I'm saying? You know, and I'm not bragging. I'm just telling you the truth. You can look at it as bragging, but that's on you. That's the hate in you, because you don't want me to tell the truth about me. But if I was talking about you or somebody else, then it would be okay. But if I tell the truth about me, then it's a problem. So those who have a problem with it, you know, the only thing I can tell you, nigga, fuck you. You know, I always held my motherfucking own. But you know, I know how it is to be at the bottom. I know how it is to be counted out. I know how it is to be in jail year after year with no visits, no money, having to fend for yourself. You know, watching people, you know, learning how to maim a person. You know, how to run a knife through a man's back or his chest and listen to his bones crush. You know, learning how to sleep, listening to men being raped, and then you know, and then come home and was able to adjust and leave that shit behind, you know, and move forward and use those experiences to keep other people from going through that. You know, because that's nothing to brag about. You know, it's nothing cool about going to jail. Nothing. And what's cool is when you are a man, you fighting for the liberation and salvation of your people, you know, and you're a good father, you're a good husband, you're a good son, you're a good brother, you're a good neighbor, you're a real motherfucking soldier, you're a real warrior, thugged out warrior, you know, to be a motherfucking scholar, you don't have to get your fucking swag or none of that up. You can keep all that. It's just certain, you just got to change your way of thinking, you know, and get on a God frequency, you know, but trust me, it's worth it. It's worth it, you know. And as you know, I'm getting ready to close because I gotta, you know, do some work. Peace, Black Power. I'll be getting with y'all, you know, soon, in a few more hours. You know, like I said, I love my brothers and sisters. You know, walk like gods, talk like gods. You know, be of service to the next man. You know, and it's a good feeling. You know, and it's just one of those times where, one of these days where I reflect back on, you know, a lot of things in the past, you know, and a lot of experiences that helped me get to this level. And I also feel good every time we give out those clothes, we give out food, you know, that we made our contribution out here to help our brothers and sisters. You know, there's no better feeling than see somebody with no coat in 20-degree weather. You give them a coat, you know, to help them become warm and make them feel like they belong. Make them feel like somebody cares about them and loves them. That they still are black gods in spite of what you're struggling with, in spite of substance abuse, in spite of drugs and alcohol. You still are a black god at the end of the day. You just got to get back on that frequency. You just can't take these vices to that frequency. You know. And, you know, peace, Hotep, Black Power. I'll be back with y'all shortly.